might be feeling like when I wear outfits that show my scars, it's like the meter just goes up on the amount of men that want to talk to me and get my attention. I don't quite know what it is. I don't know if they just see the confidence level. Like, I don't know what it is, but when I wear outfits that show my scars, it's like, y'all, they be on me. And I don't know why, but they be on me even more when they can see my scars. Hey gorgeous, and welcome to A Complete Vibe. Over here we discuss things like self-development, self-improvement, manifestation techniques, and things of that nature. So in this particular video, I wanted to discuss how my experience has been dating with scars or dating with imperfections. So the first guy I was dating, he said we decided to get together the day before my fire. I really don't remember that, but I take his word. Like, he's a pretty good guy. So he said the night before we discussed that we were going to be together. And then my fire happened. I was in a coma for a few months, and when I woke up, he was there. He was there every single day. He went back and forth. He drove an hour and 30 minutes every day to be with me for a few hours. And then he would drive back to the city to pick his kids up from school. And he did this for months on end. And I remember waking up, and one of the first conversations me and him had, he was like, yeah, you know, we're together. Like, I'm your man. And I'm like, no, you're not. Because again, I didn't remember any of it, but also I wasn't ready for a relationship, and I expressed that to him, and he went on and waited like 2 years for me, but I wasn't ready within the time that he was ready. I wasn't mentally ready, and I expressed that to him. So the first guy in particular, he had no issues with my scars at all. He was there for it all. From the before and after, he saw everything. He saw me like naked with all my scars, all my imperfections. It did not matter to him at all. So eventually when I did decide or tell myself, you know, I'm ready to start dating, I had met another guy. And we were at dinner, and he didn't know I was in a fire because on my face, I had a scar on this side of my face. My hair had melted down on my face, and I had my trachea scar. And on our first date with this new guy, I wore a turtleneck, and I also covered up this scar with makeup, and I had long sleeves on, long pants on. So he didn't know I had been in a fire at all. And I used to make it a point to try to keep my hands up under the table because I have scars on my hands and my arms, so you can easily see my scars. And so I made it a point to keep my scars up under the table the whole time. And he had said something I had got really comfortable with him. We were having a good time, and I had my hands on top of the table, and I think I raised my hand up to laugh or to do something, and he said, I'm sorry. He said, oh, what's that? About my scar. He was like, oh, what's that? And I hurry up and put my hands back up under the table. I was like, oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. And then the tension was messed up. The date was over with. And later on, me and him had met up again, and he asked me what happened again. And I told him, and I was like, well, you know, do you have an issue with my scars? And his response to me was, you shouldn't be worried about if I have an issue with it. You should be making sure you're okay with your scars. And in that moment, it kind of hit me you know what? I'm not okay with my scars. I'm not ready to start dating. So let me fall back. And so within a span, I would say of a good 2 years, that's exactly what I did. I figured out ways that I could build up my confidence. I figured out ways I can build up my self-esteem. I tried my best to get rid of self-doubt. One of my only prayers during that time was for God to restore confidence back in me. And looking back on it, the version of me now is the exact version the past Cheri was praying for. Like, I'm the exact type of person I was praying for back then. Like, if confidence is on a scale from 0 to 10, with 10 being the highest, I know my level has to be like at a 15 or something. Like, you can't tell me, you can't tell me that I'm not that girl, you know? And it took a while to get here, but when I realized that I wasn't mentally ready, that I didn't have enough self-confidence within myself, I knew that I couldn't date, because I knew that I would carry that insecurity into any relationship, or I would put that insecurity off on that guy, and that wouldn't be right. And I don't know what type of relationship you guys will want, but I definitely do not want one where the foundation is not solid, you know, where where I'm questioning every single thing he says to me because I have my own insecurities and I lack self-confidence within myself. I just knew I didn't want that type of relationship. So like I said, within that time, I went to counseling, therapy. I figured out ways that I could build up my self-confidence. I spoke affirmations over myself daily. I said my morning prayers. And I would, like I said, I would ask God to restore my confidence, my love for myself. Like, this love I kept wanting to push out unto these guys, you know, it kind of hit me that I needed it for myself. I lacked self-love across the board. I didn't have any self-love at all. And, you know, I would do the techniques. I would figure out where exactly was I lacking, and I would work on it. So I would continue to do the work. And by doing the work, I mean, I would educate myself. I would read books and watch YouTube videos on how to build up my confidence. I would get around confident women and ask them, you know, what tips they think I could pick up or I could do, or I would watch how certain women move in a crowd or move in a room. And I started slowly but surely, you know, I'd be like, oh, I like how she walks. Oh, I like how when she walks in, her head is held up high, you know. So I would take pieces from these women and instill them in myself, you know, and I would make myself, when I walk into a room, I would make myself keep my head up. Like, no, I'm not walking in with my head down, looking all sad and pitiful. No, Cheri, walk in with your head up, you know, make eye contact, smile, and walk into the room. And that's what I began to do. I held myself to a standard, and I refused to break from that standard. It didn't matter if I didn't even feel good that day. It didn't matter if I wasn't feeling my best that day. If the standard was to walk in the room with my head held high, then that's what it would be. No excuses. I stayed in a frequency of love. And what I mean by that, you have to be careful of your intake. So I stopped watching certain TV shows. I would only listen to certain types of music, or even just jazz, you know, so the instruments could just play. But whatever I was intaking, it had to be a frequency of happiness. It had to be a frequency of love, and being able to openly show that to other people and myself as well. I stayed focused on my goal. If my goal was to improve my self-love, and self-confidence and self-esteem, I kept that goal in the front of my mind. So if a beautiful woman would walk by, and though, you know, that little voice would start in my head like, oh, she's beautiful, or oh, she's gonna get all the attention in the room, and I would slowly have to start talking myself like, girl, no, snap out of it. She's beautiful, but so are you. You know, her beauty isn't taking anything away from your own. You know, you don't have to be mean and nasty to her. because I lack what I see in her. You know, don't be afraid to do a self-evaluation, and don't be afraid to check yourself sometimes, because no one else is going to do it. So check yourself. I wasn't afraid to step into my highest potential. You know, I made a list of the exact type of woman I wanted to be. And at the top of the list, the very first thing on the list was she has excellent confidence in herself. The second thing was her self-esteem is amazing. Third thing, she's radiant. She glows. Like, Cheri, girl, you be glowing, you know? And I made this list. It wasn't too long, but I did make a list of the exact woman I wanted to be. You know, she will walk into a room and everyone will stop and stare, because that's just how radiant she is. You know, she has confidence for days. She doesn't let her scars define her. She's able to wear any type of clothes. You know, if it's showing off her scars, it doesn't matter. And that's the exact woman, you know, fast forward, that's the exact woman that I am now. It was a period of time, like, I would never wear a dress like this where you can just like openly see my scars. It's no way I would have wore a dress like this. And now it's like, with the dress I have on, you can see, well, you can't see all of my scars, but you can see both of my arms and both of my legs. One leg was a complete donor site, and the other leg was a complete graft site. So it's scars on both of my legs. And at one point in time, you know, I just knew I would be in long sleeves and long pants for the rest of my life. And that's just how my life was going to unfold. But now, I mean, look at me now. And honestly, I think I be feeling like when I wear outfits that show my scars, it's like the meter just goes up on the amount of men that want to talk to me and get my attention. I don't quite know what it is. I don't know if they just see the confidence level. Like, I don't know what it is, but when I wear outfits that show my scars, it's like, y'all, they be on me. And I don't know why, but they be on me even more when they can see my scars. So if I could go back and tell my younger self anything, it'll be, don't delay the work. Like, go ahead. Come on, let's start putting in this work now. Let's start doing what we have to do to raise this confidence and raise our self-esteem level, because I was literally like holding myself back from the exact type of life that I have now. You know, and I have no one to blame but myself. So I would allow the process to happen. I wouldn't be so afraid to just take a step, you know, and actually do something, actually start putting in work to get to the life that I desired. So yeah. So, has my scars helped me back from dating? Not at all. And especially not when I fully accepted my scars. No. They be on me. The guys be on me. My scars haven't helped me back. They only helped me back when I helped myself back, to be perfectly honest. With my last boyfriend, he has passed away, but with my last boyfriend, when we first got together, I had asked him, you know, do you think my scars will be an issue for you? Because, you know, this is what it is. And I remember him saying, like, Cheri, you the shit. Like, your scars are nothing. He was like, man, babe, you are absolutely beautiful. And but I asked him, you know, was that how he truly felt, or was he saying that because that's like the correct thing to say? And he was like, no, babe, you bad. Like, with or without your scars, you're bad. Because I knew my ex 7 years before we got together, and he was like, you're even badder now. And I know badder is not a word, but he said, you're even badder now with the scars versus without. And he was like, I don't know what it is, but it's like, girl, you it. And I was like, you know what? I am. I am it. I am. So yeah, my scars definitely have not held me back. Once I fully accepted them and knew, you know, this is just me now. This is just what it is. And I had to accept it. I had to get to a place where I just know I'm a 10, you know, and no one can tell me different. I had to get to that place. No one else could do the work for me. I had to do the work. So you read the necessary books. You say the necessary affirmations. You get in the correct headspace. Talk to a therapist if you need to. Don't be afraid to look in the mirror and tell yourself, get in the mirror naked and tell yourself how beautiful you are. Tell yourself how amazing and grateful you are to survive and still be here today with your scars. You know? Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me, y'all. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. If you want to stay connected, you can feel free to follow me over on Instagram at A Complete Vibe. And I'll see y'all next time. Okay?